Interracial Mackin week was last week, and there was a lot of feedback from Interracial Mackin week. There was a whole lot of feedback. My God. And you know, the most controversial one was the one about how to mac to black women, which I knew that was going to be the stinker. I knew that one was going to get the biggest response and the most backlash, but I didn't know it was going to be that heavy. I didn't know it was going to be that deep. The show we did about the sisters, man, that show has been posted on so many websites around the web. It's been discussed in so many chat rooms and forums. I've gotten so many emails, I mean literally hundreds of emails because of that one show. Even other radio stations are talking about what I was talking about in that show. It's that deep. It's funny, man. So in this show, basically, I'm going to respond to some of the views and some of the criticisms that I've gotten for the show about how to mac to black women. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to respond. Now, a lot of people were saying that I was hard on the sisters. I don't think I was hard on the sisters. Actually, I talked about the sisters equally as I did the other races. I think I was more harder on Latina girls and even the Asian girls. But the one I did about the sisters, people lost their damn minds. You know, the thing is, man, there's a section in the black female community, and not all, but there's a section in the black female community that feels like they just can't be criticized for nothing. Like their shit just don't stink. I'm here to tell you, if it stinks, I'm gonna let you know it stinks. And if you need to come correct, I'm gonna let you know that you need to come correct. Now, some of the criticisms were kind of weak. You know, the same generic ass criticisms like Tariq Nasheed was making too many broad generalizations. That's one of the biggest criticisms I got for that show. Well, guess what? It's a radio show. I'm talking to a general audience. So naturally, generalizations are going to be made. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. It's a general audience. It's a broadcast. I'm talking to a broad audience. Now, there are exceptions to different rules, but society has a general way of thinking. Different cultures have a general way of thinking. That's what I was talking about in the show. So to make that your argument, oh, he was being too general, he was stereotyping. I said that. Come on, people, you can do better than that. People been sending me links from different message boards, and that's what the fuck you're whining about? I'm making generalizations and stereotypes? Yeah, I've said that. Come on now, do better than that. Challenge me if you're gonna challenge me. Call my shit out if you're gonna call it out. You're not calling it out. What I was saying was true, and you know I was saying some true shit. Everything I said on those broadcasts were absolutely true. I stand by them shits 100%. And if you don't like it, tough titty. I've been reading some of the stuff on these different message boards. Also, what's funny, I've been getting a few greasy response from guys. And that's the thing that kills me about the game. You try to lace cats with the game, and you have all these little save-a-hoe, simp-ass cats out there who try to gain brownie points with women by brown-nosing, by becoming honorary women. Guess what, fellas? That don't work. She's looking at you as the simp you are. But all my real players out there, real cats who respect the game, those real hustlers, they knew what's up. They gave mad props to the whole segment. And I give a shout out to those guys who recognize real game. You dig? What are some of the other criticisms I got? Some of the criticisms were, was I being sarcastic? Was it a joke? I've heard those rumblings on a few boards. A lot of the stuff I say, sometimes it might have a comedic overtone. I might throw in humorous anecdotes. I might throw in a little satire, but the shit is all real. The stuff I spit is real. It's not a joke. You know what the joke? The joke is when I travel around the country and I see you dudes with these raggedy, overweight, sassy broads. That's the goddamn joke. Because how I roll is not a joke. I'm kicking the real stuff. My stuff has been tried and proven. The game that I'm spitting. Tell them, Spirit of Truth. That's right. The stuff I'm saying is tried and proven. See, I've been writing books for like 6 years. So when you write books about Mackin and Player Be Played and dating and relationships, especially from a black male perspective, you have to make sure that your shit is Trump tight, because people are going to always try to find holes in your game. And I'm prepared for that. That's why my game is Trump tight. There are no holes in it. That's why nobody can really successfully challenge me on what I say. The shit I say is that fly. I'm flowing straight from the survival scrolls, as the Spirit of Truth will say. My stuff is tried and proven. I've been spitting this game for years. It's been tried, proven, tested over and over again. My whole writing career, people have been trying to poke holes in the game and find holes. You can't find none. So you reduce yourself to little bullshit arguments like, oh, he's making generalizations. Instead of, oh, this nigga said some shit that was totally incorrect. You can't say that because you know the shit I was saying was 100% true. Deal with that. Don't be afraid of the truth. In the black female community, you have sisters who have themselves together, but then you have a section of sisters who need to step their shit up. And a lot of black male public figures are afraid to say this publicly. A lot of people in the public eye are very particular and very careful not to offend the black female audience. I even said on one of my shows when I got the book deal to do Player Be Played, the publisher was going to give me a lot more money to write a book telling black women what they wanted to hear. And this was the publisher's exact words. Tariq, we need you to write a book telling these sisters what they need to hear. That was their exact fucking words. To me, that would do you an injustice. Don't be afraid of a little game, sisters. Somebody try to lace you with something, some productive shit, they're not hating on you. I'm trying to lace you with some shit that's going to help you. And actually, the show was geared towards guys, but I make my stuff available to women too. I make my game available for everybody. You can learn some stuff from it too. Stop spitting a little cliche bullshit. Oh, he's bitter. He don't like black women. Wah, wah, wah. The same cliche bullshit. You can be criticized too if your shit ain't right. In the show that I did about black women, I talked about the positive attributes of black women. I talked about the negative. That's real dialogue. But people kind of overlooked the positive, and they kind of made the show seem like I was just bashing sisters, which it was not. I made constructive criticisms. If your shit ain't right, you can be called out. Now, all sisters don't think like this, but there are a lot of sisters who do. And what's funny is that black men, we have to hear so much bullshit coming from the black female community and so much criticism on a regular basis with no positive reinforcements. We have to hear brothers ain't shit. We got to look at all these shows. Brothers ain't paying child support. Brothers ain't doing this. We got to listen to y'all on Wendy Williams bullshit about every black man is doing this and he's scandalous this and he's fucking this bitch and he got AIDS and he's gay. And then we gotta hear shit coming from sisters about every black man is on the DL, and we gotta be inundated with this bullshit. And the minute a brother criticizes some of your shit, all hell breaks loose. You can be criticized too. For the sisters who are complaining. Now, the sisters who are up on game, the intelligent ones, they know what's up. Those are the women who buy my books. They know the game. They can understand the criticism, and what I say doesn't really bother them because their shit is together. The ones who don't have their shit right, these are the ones who are whining and hollering and trying to argue semantics. You dig what I'm saying? And as the spirit of truth will say,
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Say it one more time.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
You dig? And what are some of the other criticisms I got? What are some of the other criticisms? One thing I got from some dudes, because I was talking about how black men don't like overweight women. Broke men like overweight women. And I got some responses from guys saying, well, you know, Tariq, if I had a lot of money, I'll still date them thick girls. Bullshit. Bullshit. And let me say that again. Black men don't like overweight women, which is a myth that is constantly perpetuated onto us. Broke ass men like that bullshit because their minds acquire a taste for that. A lot of guys don't feel like they can get any better, so you mind fuck yourself into believing that's desirable. Brothers with money don't really fuck with no overweight ass females. That's a fact. It's not a joke. It's not a game. That's a fact. And I will take it a step further. Since we want to go there, y'all want to try to find holes in my game? I'll find holes in your game. I challenge you. Because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've been spitting this game for years. I've been studying the game for years. So let's go there. I challenge you out there in radio land. Since you think I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I want you to find me one millionaire black man who has an overweight significant other. And I'm not talking about a brother who had a female before he got his money and he's still sticking with her just so he can keep his finances in order. That don't count. I'm not talking about one of those cheaper to keeper situations. If you can find me a black male millionaire who has an overweight significant other, email me and let me know who it is. Name one. I don't even want a whole list. I want one. Name one. Because I proved my point, prove your point. Broke men like overweight women. When a brother gets him some paper, he ain't dating no overweight woman no more. Because he has the option to choose better women. Better women will be attracted to him. That's a fact. You can get mad at me if you want to, but that's a fact. If you can name somebody who's dating an overweight chick, I'll shut the fuck up about it. Prove me wrong. I challenge you. You don't see none of those millionaire brothers with no little weeble wobble ass female on their arm at the Soul Train Awards, at the Essence Awards, at the Lady of Soul Awards. All those rich brothers have dimes on their arms. And the only exception, again, are guys who were married to these women before they had money, and they keep the women around just so they can keep their finances in order. Because sometimes they can be financially ruined if they try to leave one of these broads. Or not just financially ruined, they just have to give up a lot of their fortune. For example, Keenan Ivory Wayans. And his wife isn't overweight. She was a nice looking chick. But the point is about the finances. Keenan Ivory Wayans, he's getting a divorce right now. This nigga's wife is taking his ass to the cleaners. I mean, to the cleaners. She's getting a grip. Keenan's wife is getting like half of all the money he makes from his production companies, all of his future work, plus child support. So she's going to be making more money than he is on his projects. This is why certain dudes will stick with that female who was with them a long time ago. You dig? Anyway, but a lot of criticism about the show, which was unwarranted. There was a lot of criticism about the show that was unwarranted, and if you want to challenge me, but don't give me the little cliche answers, the little cliche questions and remarks about I don't like sisters. I love sisters. In the show, I even said I prefer sisters. I'm not going to kiss nobody's ass. I'm not in the ass kissing game. I'm not in the business of telling black women what they want to hear. I don't do that shit. You got Iyanla Van Zandt. You dig what I'm saying? You got all these little brown-nosing authors to do that for you. I don't do that. I'm not in the bullshit business. I'm gonna keep it real. The brothers can respect real game. Women, you need to respect real game. I'm critical of a lot of the brothers out there. But real brothers can respect that. They can respect a dude being real with them. I'm not gonna tell them niggas what they want to hear, and I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear. If what you're doing is not correct, some sisters have to step it up. This is what brothers are saying. Brothers are saying this. It's not just me. Do y'all know how many books I sold? I've sold hundreds of thousands of goddamn books. I've sold a lot of books. Who do you think are buying these books? Brothers who want to peep game. Brothers who are having problems. And brothers who just want to be on top of their game. I've created the only forum with my books where brothers can really dialogue and really chop up game with one another. We have this thing with square black guys, and I say square because the hustlers know the game. Square niggas always talking this shit about, I don't need no book to learn no game. If you know it, you should already know it. I talked about that on another show. All these square niggas always talking about what they know, and you look at these niggas women, and they look like hot messes. You look at these dudes women, and they look a mess. And these are the cats talking about what they know and what game they don't need to learn. And your woman looks like a hot mess sundae with a cherry on top. But the game is deep, guys. And the game is for those who respect the game. And again, sisters, if somebody is giving you constructive criticism, don't whine like a punk ass. Soak it up if it's applicable. Cut it out with the little infantile comments. about making generalizations. Oh, that's not me. I wasn't raised like that. Grow up. And what I say is not a joke. For people who think that this is comedy, that this is a game, this is not a joke. This is real talk. Because again, I've seen what some of you cats are dating. Women, I've seen what some of these niggas are looking like you're dating. Some of these raggedy, wannabe thug ass niggas that you guys are laying up with, ladies. That shit is a joke. Step it up. Step up your dating choices. I'm gonna do a whole show about sisters. I think I'm gonna do a whole show, a whole segment, like I did with Interracial Mackin Week. I think I'm gonna do like a whole section, a whole segment for sisters about stepping their game up. I think I'm gonna have to do that. But I've been getting a lot of emails from guys talking about all the different websites and message boards that's been talking about the Interracial Mackin Week. And there's a couple of websites and message boards that I want to address. Like my boy Jay, he sent me a link for this one website, a message board. They were talking about the podcast called Lipstick Alley. It was very interesting about this site. So interesting. On tomorrow's show, I'm going to do a whole show about that website and what that website is supposed to be about. I found it very interesting. One of my players out there sent me a link. He was like, Flex, man, this website, these girls, they're talking a lot of shit. You need to peep it out. They're talking about the podcast. You need to get up on them. So I peeped out the website called Lipstick Alley, and my boy Jay was explaining the website to me. He was like, this is a site of women who are supposed to be gold diggers and groupies and all this stuff. And these women talk about the different athletes that they dealt with and all this old bullshit. So I peeped the site out, and them bitches ain't no gold diggers. Those women are not gold diggers by a long shot. Those are wannabe gold diggers. And we're going to talk about that on tomorrow's show. We're going to do a whole show about wannabe ass gold diggers. And we're going to talk about this little bullshit message board. Because even in my book, The Art of Mackin, if you guys read The Art of Mackin, I talk about gold diggers and how I actually respect real gold diggers. I have the utmost respect for a real female who's doing some real gold digging, because a hustler recognizes another hustler. Game respects game. If you're getting your money like that, I respect that. But we have a whole subculture of wannabe gold diggers out there, and all these women are doing is fucking the game up. So we're going to do a show about that tomorrow. That's going to be on tomorrow's show. We're going to break the game down. It's that deep. Excuse me. My voice is still kind of gone because I'm on Hawaii time. That's 3 hours from behind LA time. So my mind and body is still jet lagged, and I still got pineapple juice on me. But I'm here. And I'm flowing straight from the survival scrolls. But yeah, that's going to be tomorrow's show. We're going to talk about the wannabe gold diggers and the women out there who's messing up the game. There's a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to talk about this week, just based on the Interracial Macking show, the last show, the show about how to mack the sisters. There's a lot of stuff that we need to dialogue about in the black community, and we're going to talk about a lot of that this week. Because there's a lot of little out-of-pocket stuff that's going on, and a lot of black people, we're still in the position where we don't like talking about shit. We like to have open secrets. We like to bullshit. We like to talk about semantics. We're afraid to talk about the truth. And I'm just not in the bullshit business. Because I really don't deal in the square world too much. I'm usually around hustlers. And in the square world, squares are used to bullshitting each other. They have the luxury to bullshit. That's why they're square. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get real deep into squares, hustlers, all that stuff this week.